All right, Sunday morning, and let's face it, you need a little help. That's why we've got Paul Charchian of FantasyVictory.com with some sleeper picks, starting with Andy Dalton at quarterback.
Yeah, we start at the quarterback position, and Andy Dalton, who was great last year when he threw the fourth most touchdowns in the NFL, but this year's been a different story. He has thrown multiple touchdowns in just 2 games. He's only got 6 passing touchdowns on the whole year. Now, obviously, the loss of A.J. Green has hurt a lot of his productivity, although Mohamed Sanu has stepped up and played very well as the team's go-to receiver. A.J. Green might return this week, but he'll be gimpy even if he does, so I don't know if that changes a lot. But what I want to think is important to note here is that Dalton has really suffered from a run-first offensive orientation that's left him throwing 28 or fewer passes in over half of his games. But the Jaguars are so beatable through the air that every opposing quarterback has thrown for 28 or more pass attempts. So hopefully Dalton's going to see an uptick in throws, including some to A.J. Green. Plus, the Jaguars' defense is getting hammered with injuries. Both of their starting cornerbacks may not play in this game. Cornerback Will Blackman is very unlikely to go, and Dwayne Gratz is very iffy with a groin injury.
All right, something we've been talking about on FantasyVictory.com, not a lot of elite running backs this year, so leaving you with a lot of matchup decisions. One maybe to look at this week, Bobby Rainey against the Cleveland Browns.
Bobby Rainey against the Browns. You know, I know everybody wants to talk about Charles Sims, and, you know, we're all excited about him, and he may or may not even play in this one. But it's a good game against Cleveland. Doug Martin's hurt. It's really kind of a last man standing situation with Bobby Rainey. He's the safe play here. He's not hurt. He's not a guy coming off of injury. He's healthy, and the former Brown is averaging 4.6 yards per carry. So he's capable of delivering a decent performance against a bad defense, and he's a lot better than Doug Martin, just 2.9 yards per carry for Martin. Cleveland's 8th worst in yards allowed to opposing backs, 2nd worst in yards per carry, and they surrender nearly a touchdown per game to the group. So Bobby Rainey, maybe out of nowhere, this is a good opportunity for him.
All right, if you're looking for wide receiver help, a guy that's on the back end of his career, so a little bit under the radar, Dwayne Bowe has a good matchup against the Jets.
Yeah, kind of very under the radar for Dwayne Bowe because he's not been very good for several years now. But this is a matchup that's so tempting because the Jets have just been awful defending the pass. New York has allowed the 3rd most wide receiver scores. Last week, the Bills receivers put up 207 yards and 2 touchdowns, and really should have been 3 touchdowns, thanks Sammy Watkins. And they did all that on just 6 receptions. Over the last 4 weeks, Bowe has garnered more targets than all the other Kansas City wide receivers combined.
All right, Andy Dalton, Bobby Rainey, and Dwayne Bowe, 3 guys with some very favorable matchups. Charch has all of his rankings at FantasyVictory.com. They'll be updated all the way up until kickoff.